The Battle of Gaugamela was not just another fight. It was a clash that would forever reshape the ancient world. Alexander the Great's victory at Gaugamela didn't just defeat a king. It toppled the mighty Persian Empire and opened the doors to Greek influence spreading far and wide. In a single day, Alexander changed the course of history, leaving a legacy that would last millennia. In October 331 BC, two great armies faced each other on the plains of Gaugamela. Alexander, with an army of around 47,000, was significantly outnumbered by the Persian king Darius I, who had assembled an enormous force of over 100,000 soldiers, including war elephants and scythed chariots. The stakes couldn't have been higher. This was Darius's last chance to stop Alexander and save his empire. As dawn broke, Darius's confidence was clear. His army stretched far beyond the Macedonian lines, with the advantage of numbers, but Alexander knew something Darius didn't. He wasn't planning to fight a traditional battle. He was planning to outsmart the Persian king. Alexander divided his army into two wings, keeping a strong reserve in the center. His goal was to draw Darius's forces outward, creating gaps in the Persian lines that he could exploit. Darius launched the first attack, sending his scythed chariots toward Alexander's infantry, hoping to break their ranks. However, Alexander's soldiers, well-trained and disciplined, opened their lines to let the chariots pass through, avoiding the brunt of the attack. The Macedonian infantry then closed in, neutralizing the threat. Meanwhile, on the flanks, Persian cavalry tried to overwhelm Alexander's men. But Alexander anticipated this move. He had already positioned his own cavalry to counterattack at the right moment. As the battle raged on, Alexander made his decisive move. Leading his elite companion cavalry, he spotted a gap in the Persian center and charged straight for Darius himself. In a bold, swift maneuver, Alexander's cavalry smashed through the Persian lines. Seeing the Macedonians approaching, Darius panicked. With his personal guard unable to hold back Alexander's forces, Darius fled the battlefield, leaving his army in chaos. Without their king to lead them, the Persian soldiers began to scatter, and Alexander's army pursued them relentlessly. The Persian forces crumbled, and by the end of the day, the battlefield was littered with the dead and wounded. Alexander had won an overwhelming victory, and Darius's empire was in ruins. But the consequences of Gaugamela went beyond just a military triumph. This victory marked the end of Persian rule and the dawn of a new era, an era of Greek dominance across Asia. After the battle, Alexander marched into Babylon, one of the greatest cities of the ancient world, where he was welcomed as a liberator. He would go on to conquer the entire Persian Empire, pushing his armies as far as India. The spread of Greek culture, ideas, and governance would shape civilizations for centuries to come. The Battle of Gaugamela is remembered not just for its scale, but for the brilliance of Alexander's tactics. He didn't just rely on the strength of his army. He used the terrain, the element of surprise, and his enemies' weaknesses to achieve a victory that seemed impossible. This battle is often seen as the pinnacle of his military genius, a textbook example of how strategy can overcome even the most daunting odds. Alexander's legacy was secured on that battlefield. His dream of a united empire stretching across the known world became a reality, and the world as people knew it changed forever. From the ashes of the Persian Empire rose the Hellenistic world, a fusion of cultures and ideas that would influence everything from art and philosophy to science and politics. The Battle of Gaugamela remains one of the most significant turning points in world history. It was more than just a victory for Alexander. It was the moment when the fate of the ancient world shifted, and the effects of that day are still felt in the echoes of history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos on the greatest battles that shaped history. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we explore another iconic clash that changed the course of empires.